Hello, I'm Olivier from the Morato Tennis Academy, and today I'm going to show you how to string a racket. So we have this racket to string here today. That's Dunlop CX400, and we're going to string it at a tension of 22 kilograms. First thing you need to do is to mount it on the machine. So you make sure that the handle is at the right spot and the head too. And then you adjust the clamps to make sure that the racket is firmly attached to the machine, firmly fixed on the machine, but not too tight either. We're going to use this Dunlop explosive red string. So this is 12 meters, which is enough to do the whole racket. We're going to do 4 knots. So basically we're going to use two pieces of a string to do the whole racket. I checked the string pattern of the racket, and this is a 16-19 string pattern, so that means that there is 16 mains and 19 crosses. So I'm going to use the lengths that I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for the knots. So with this part here, we're going to do the mains. And it starts like this. Okay, the start is going to go like this. You set this clamp here. Make sure that it's tight enough. Perfect. And I personally always use a security clamp here for the start, just to make sure the clamp doesn't slip. Make sure with your finger on the first tensions that the clamp are tight enough so that the tension doesn't go away. Okay. So this is our 22 kilos coming into the string, and then we use the clamp to maintain the tension. It is very important not to do the whole half side at a time, because that could create deformation of the racket. So what we do is we usually pull 2 or 3 strings, and then we on one side, and then we pull 2 or 3 others on the other side. You want to use the clamps as close as possible to the frame so that the tension is the best as possible. All right. We are now reaching the end of the mains. So on the 2 last mains, I'm going to use an extra tension. We use this feature here, which is called knot. When I press it, it adds another 2 kilos. So instead of 22 kilos, which is about 48 pounds, I'm going to use 24 kilos just for this last 2 strings here. It's for the first one. I skip this hole here, which is my first cross. And then here's the second one, so again 24 kilos instead of 22, and lock. Perfect. And of course we're going to do the same thing on the other side, because there's a knot as well. So we go 24, we do this because it avoids when we do a knot, there is always a bit of a loss of tension when you tie the knot, so we add a bit of extra tension to make sure that even though there is a knot, the tension will not go away. So now I will use the brake here to tie the first knot. Tools to make the strings go through. I personally use the Powner knot to tie my knots. So it's basically a first loop, and then around the string again, through the first loop. Then you can tie the first one. I do use this. And then pull the second. And then at the same time as I'm pulling the string, I'm going to release the clamp and cut the string here. Make sure it's not too edgy. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So through this one, use the brake so that the racket doesn't move while I'm tying the knots. First loop around the string, then another one through the first loop. Pull the first, pull the second. Okay, so now I'm going to use the second piece of strings to do the crosses. So there's 19 crosses. That's the length that I've left from the start. And so obviously this goes over and under the string all the way. I'm going to use here a starting clamp to start pulling the tension on the first main. Pull the tension at 22 kilos, which is about 48 pounds, and release the tension. You pull the string, when you pull the crosses, make sure that you're moving the string at the same time as you are pulling, because this will prevent from the damage coming from the friction of the string over the other one. Don't forget to lock the clamp as close as possible to the frame. I like to put the string back straight every time I pull the string, because then I'm sure that at the end of the frame the strings will be square and there's no other movement to do that will make loss tension, that will provoke loss of tension. Okay, there's 2 more crosses to go, and so after this one, on the 2 last one, we're going to do like on the 2 last mains, we're going to use the extra tension feature to make sure that the knot will not provoke any loss of tension. The last thing will be to check that the strings are straight. You can use this tool to straighten them a little bit. All right, and that's how to string a racket.